Beauty Junkie, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to get into the Pat McGrath Mothership IV Decadence palette. Very exciting! And even though this palette is sold out at the moment, it will be restocked in the summer 2020. So if you're interested in maybe purchasing in the future, I'm going to get into swatches. We're going to put on these eye looks, and I'll share my thoughts on the palette and sort of give you some sort of comparison to the other palettes and what would pair well with it. So if that sounds good to you, keep on watching. Hi there, I just wanted to give you the latest Pat McGrath update, and today she announced that she's releasing a second version of the Divine Rose palette. This is the 7th Mothership palette, part 2, and in this picture you're seeing that part 2 is the bottom palette with like the bright pink shade on the kind of the duo multi-chrome shade next to it. So this is supposed to be released in June, not sure the date yet. If you are interested, you can go to Pat McGrath's website and enter your email to get the latest news when that will be released. They're doing a couple things. They're releasing it by itself, both palettes, but they're also doing a package so you can buy both. I'm not sure if you can get the pink packaging, so the case is actually like a pink color. I don't know if you can buy that pink packaging individually, but I see it on the website that you can get that packaging when you buy the both. So that's interesting. No discount or anything, still $125 each. And I'm excited. I don't think I'm going to be picking it up because I just got the first palette, and I have a lot of palettes right now from Pat McGrath that are pretty new to me. So I'm going to wait on it. It doesn't look like it's limited edition, but I'm sure this is going to sell out really quickly just with the popularity of the first palette. I think this is going to go fast, and so maybe next time I'll jump on it. But the shades look really pretty. They're definitely more punchy, at least a couple of them. This display doesn't show you really all the textures and glitter that's going on. I do suggest you check out Pat's Instagram or her website so you can see the videos and get the full texture effect. But I just thought I would let you know the latest news on her new eyeshadow release. It definitely looks more typical rosy when I think of a rose palette. Not a whole, I mean, there's the pink shade, but there's still a lot of neutrals in here. I think this is still a really wearable palette. And I'm excited to see it on people. I'm excited to see some looks with it. It does look really pretty, and if you love pink, you are probably waiting patiently for this to come out. So here are all the shades here. I think, yeah, this looks pretty typical. She usually includes, you know, a gold in there, and she has some lighter shades. She has some mattes. So this looks cool, and I think the pink packaging is a nice touch, and hopefully you can get that color individually, but you will have to see. I'm sure that's a question people are going to be asking. Anyways, just want to keep you updated on to the rest of the video. Alright guys, we're doing the big box reveal of the Mothership IV Decadence palette. I just opened it. I'm going to take out the confetti filling, which is a lot of fun. Ooh, I like to see some bubble wrap. That is what I like to see around my Pat McGrath packaging. Ooh. Look at this box. Oh my god. There it is, crown jewels. It is even more beautiful in person. Alright, let's get a better view. All right. So excited. Here's the box. Looks like it's in good shape. Not seeing any damaged corners, which is a good sign. Just reading the back really quickly. I love the gold print. Not hearing any wobbling or broken parts. Let's see. See if I can do this with one hand. Yes. Oh my god, look at that gold. Oh my gosh. Look at how special. It's like solid gold. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to mess it up. How pretty is that? Amazing, amazing stuff. She is just so special, like her stuff. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to remove this with one hand. And there's the fingerprints on it already. Oh boy, this is so cool. Ta-da! There we have it. Wow. I'm gonna leave it in the sun. Look at that. So pretty. So amazing. Everything looks like it's in good shape, all intact. Nothing's falling out. I know, I'm funny. I have to make sure. With the last one I got, one of them fell out, so I'm gonna make sure they're all in good shape and everything looks good. Wow. I love the packaging. I love that this is limited edition and now it has the gold packaging. So cool. Oh, there's the names. Name card. So we have Gold Standard, Inferno, Blue Blood, Sinful, Underworld, Sterling, Lapis Luxury, Divine Mink, Hedonistic, and Enigma. Love this. Alright guys, that is the official unboxing of Mothership IV Decadence. Alright guys, I wanted to do a little swatcheroony of my new Decadence palette, Mothership IV, in the limited edition gold packaging. Yes, reflective. So I just want to do some swatches really quick. And I have my name card here. So we're going to start with the top row going this way. And we're starting with Gold Standard. So initial impression of Gold Standard, the texture is not as soft, it's a little bit rough, but oh boy, that is pigmented and pretty. That is a really nice finish. Next up is Inferno. This one feels a little bit less gritty, a little softer. Ooh, that is a really pretty copper color. Beautiful, very, very beautiful. Love that. Next one is Blue Blood. This one is even softer, not gritty at all. Ooh, I really like that color. It's like a deep, kind of maroonish color. Very pretty, right up my alley. Love that tone. Applied really evenly, smoothly, and the texture feels really nice. Pretty good so far. The next one is Sinful. This one is a little bit rougher, but I wouldn't say it's as rough as Gold Standard. But it is swatching really nicely. It's a bit of a different tone of gold. I guess like more of a more neutral, cooler toned almost gold. Very pretty. And then the next one we have is Underworld, and this is like a deeper blue. And this one is pretty smooth, not the smoothest, but not gritty. And this one is not swatching as well as the others. It's kind of like a black toned almost with a blue shift. Let me swatch this a little better for you. It's getting around the curve of my arm. There we go. Now we can see that kind of dark background with that blue shift to it. Very interesting color. Can't wait to play with that one. I don't think I have a lot of colors like that. Look at this rainbow. Very, very pretty. And now we're going to go into the next row. The next one we have is this beautiful silver. Ooh. This one feels really smooth, smoother than Gold Standard. Ooh, that is a pretty silver. I have to say, I don't think I have the shade anywhere else. That is nice and reflective. That is what you want in a silver, really. That's sparkly, like Tin Man silver. I can see this like really setting off your look. Very pretty. Ooh, then we have Lapis Luxury. This like looks like a really pretty tone, but oh boy, this one's a little bit rough. But once I swirl my finger in it, it gets a little bit smoother, but definitely a rough touch at first. Lapis Luxury. Oh boy, look at that. That is beautiful. Those are the two blues in the palette. I imagine those are gonna go well with each other. Yeah. Oh, I love this tone of blue. That is so nice. Alright, I don't know if you guys get excited about a new palette that you just want to dig in. That's what I'm doing. Divine Mink is next. This is like more of a brown chocolatey shade, but it does have a metallic finish to it. It feels really smooth when I put my finger on it. That is an interesting kind of grayish brown chocolate shade. I really like all of these. I mean, even though they are not matte and they're not special shades, they're all sort of different wavelengths of metallic. I'm really enjoying the colors. I mean, who needs a matte with these? All right, next we have Hedonistic, and this is an orange color. Ooh, this feels really smooth. Ooh, this is gonna be a perfect for a nice warm look for summer. And this is almost like orange, but it kind of shifts to pinkish red. Very interesting. You see that kind of shift as I move? Like at first glance it's orange, but really in the light it turns this reddish pink. Very pretty. Could go with these orange color, warm colors up here. Would go right in that family. I love how there's a good mix of warm and cool shades in this palette. I really like that. Our last shade is Enigma, and this looks like a shiny kind of taupe, metallic taupe. Probably the most boring shade in the palette, but it is still feels really soft to apply, easy to apply. But I'm okay with a more boring neutral shade. Let me extend that further around my arm. There we go. And there's the bottom row. Loving these two shades, very interesting. But even like the more boring shades, these are also really cool. And the silver's really pretty. This looks like a winner so far. These all apply beautifully. Loving the rainbow. Again, a mix of cooler, warmer, some neutral in-betweeners. This is going to give you so many different looks. I can already tell. I'm super excited. So I've bought 3 Pat McGrath palettes within the last month. I only had one large one before. I have a smaller 6-pan one. But now I have 4 motherships. This is crazy. I'm gonna stop for a while. That is the swatches. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this makes you a little curious. I know Decadence is sold out right now, but if you get the opportunity, it looks like they are going to re-release this summer at some point. I don't know when, but sign up at patmcgrath.com, sign up for her emails so you get alerts, notifications. Make sure you look at her Instagram. She announces a lot of stuff there. That way you know when the next release is, and if these colors intrigue you, which they should, you should get it, especially if you are a collector. This gold packaging is just incredible. And it's interesting because usually the back is gold, but this time it's matte black. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, the back's a little different. I just noticed that. It is kind of matte black. And then it has a sticker with the details that this is the Mothership IV. So interesting, very, very pretty. I'm gonna clean myself up and then we're gonna get into a look and I'll be right back. Love this packaging. I know it's a mess, but I kind of love how special it is. I know everyone hates it, but I enjoy it. I actually save it just in case one day I want to use it. All right, let's get into our eye looks. I am so excited to dig in and put this on my eyes. So I'm gonna do a warm look and a cool look. I'm gonna try to use as many shades as possible. So my warm look, I'm gonna use these, the orange shade, and probably this one too. And then my cooler looks, I'm gonna probably use some sort of combination of these and this one, maybe this one. All right, so let's get into it. I'm gonna do the warm look first, the copper shade. So I'm gonna start with Inferno first. That's this coppery guy right here. And I'm just gonna go into the crease with the Sonia G Crease Pro. So this is sort of a warm look. I'm gonna go into Divine Mink, which is this kind of chocolate metallic shade here. And we're gonna do a little bit of outer corner to see what that looks like. Just because I don't have a whole lot of other like outer corner options that would totally pair exactly well. I mean, I think it's gonna work. We just don't have that warm, darker shade that I would typically use. And I'm using the Rephr number 14 on Divine Mink. Smokes things up. And I'm gonna go back in with the copper shade to overlap that one I just applied. There we go, that's pretty. It's almost like a pewter color that I applied to the outside. So it's kind of like in this really metal family we have going on right here, which is quite interesting. I'm gonna go into Hedonistic, which is that orange shade. And I'm gonna use a flat brush for this, just so I can tap this on. This is sort of semi-flat. This is the Sonia G Worker Pro. And we're gonna see how some tapping works. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Really pretty on the eye. This sort of reminds me of that red shade in Mothership V. Very similar. Yeah, this reminds me of the Bronze Seduction red. So I'm gonna try this red underneath my eye with the Sonia G Pencil Pro. Yeah, that is so pretty. It is like a fire color. Love it. Love this. I'm gonna go in with the Gold Standard, which is that really warm gold. That is pretty. I'm loving this look so far. So I want to extend that gold underneath my eye as well. I'm going to use a smaller under eye brush. This is the rougher number 3. So if you're noticing, I'm kind of layering these colors as I go, as I try them out. And I've noticed that my orange hedonistic kind of red pinky shade has pretty much disappeared when I applied that gold. So I'm gonna go back in and we're just gonna layer things up right in the center. Just to bring this back into life. And then I'm just gonna do a couple finger taps again with the gold. There we go, now we can see all those colors. I'm just gonna do a little bit of a inner corner, and we're gonna use the kind of neutral gold shade in Sinful corner, just to get a different sort of tone to make things pop. Ooh, that is really pretty. I do like gold. I like all shades of gold. I think this lighter color is especially flattering. Ooh, I like that gradient sort of color we have going on. I think that's really, really stunning. Very pretty. I could also see, and this could have been an option for me, is to use this sort of maroon shade with this look. Probably would have the Blue Blood. This probably would have worked on this warm eye. I just wasn't too sure if we wanted to do that more purpley look with this. But I am pretty happy with how this turned out. I mean, this is gorgeous. This totally, to me, falls in line with the Bronze Seduction shades. You could almost these two palettes would really complement each other and build upon each other. I mean, you could build upon this with the red, and you could put the orange on top of that red shade in Bronze Seduction. I'm liking this so far. So we're gonna move on into the cool shades, and I think I'm gonna do the kind of like most boring shade in the palette, but it is still really pretty, Enigma. This is like the taupey shade. I think it's a safe shade for us to put into the crease. I'm gonna go. Again, these shades are just, they're so easy. They're so, you can see they're easy to layer. You can build upon them. If things don't work out, I mean, you can fix it up, you can change it. This is a really, really pretty shade. I mean, you could wear this any day of the week. Just really gorgeous. So now we have something in the crease. I want to get into a little bit more exciting shades, and I'm gonna do Underworld, which is that deep, deep blue that has a bit of like a dark underlay underneath. And we're gonna see what happens. I'm a little scared. It didn't swatch like perfectly, so we're just gonna hope for the best and just go really easy. So this shade is a little bit trickier. It's a little bit harder pressed formula. And it is like just creating a lot of smoke and shadow, which is nice. And it's not like a basic black or gray. It does have this interesting blue tone to it that I think really works. It just requires a little bit of patience to build it up, because it's not one of those formulas that you just swipe on and it's ready to go. I think it's because it has like this sort of interesting underlay underneath it that's a bit darker. But I do think it sets up the eye really nicely to kind of get our shape going. Sorry, I'm blocking the camera. I'm gonna go into the maroon shade, which may seem like a strange choice, but I just want to pop this on kind of the outer part, not quite the outer edge, but just in here to see how that looks. And this is Blue Blood. You wouldn't normally have to do kind of quite all this layering. I'm just trying to incorporate as many colors as I can. But this is definitely showing up very purple, cool toned. And this is a nice purple. I haven't seen a lot of like really fabulous purples from Pat, but this is a really good one, and I like the tone of this. It's almost plummy, and it's nice. It's applying really nicely. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of cleanup. Because these are, you know, darker shades. So now I'm gonna go into the really fun blue teal shade, and that is Lapis Luxury. And I'm gonna go in with my flat brush, Sephora 2. And we're gonna see how this goes. Wow, that is a stunning shade. It's definitely dark. On the darker side of blue. It's not quite showing up super teal, but see if this does. Yeah, there we go. Finger. This is a good finger shade. I got a lot of good underlay, but the finger really is what makes this color pop for sure. There we go. That's what I was looking for. If you don't have any palettes yet, you will notice that, like, you may notice when you're applying with a brush, like, why isn't this color as punchy as I've seen it applied on people? And sometimes that means layering with the brush and then applying with your finger, or just straight up applying with your finger. Because of this blue really stains, I'm gonna have to do some cleanup. So I'm gonna go back in and layer over the blue blood. Go back in just to redefine. I realize I'm almost used all my shades. Crazy. I think I'm gonna make sure the blue extends across my lid instead of cutting it off. I'm going to use this dark blue underneath my eye and see how that looks. A little scared. We're gonna hope for the best. This is Underworld. I think if you are into putting loose powder under your eye for fallout, that would probably give you a good idea with these blue shades, because if you have fairer skin, they really sort of stain and give you this sort of darker shadow around your eye, which may not be as flattering. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of powder probably over this underneath my eye. You just sort of take away some of that shadow. These are really pretty cool tones though. I'm really liking them. Put a little bit of silver in this inner corner, and I'm going to use sterling. Oh yeah, I think this is a nice pairing with this cool side. Very pretty sparkles. It's just so easy to apply. So easy. I guess it's getting a little bit hidden with that bright Lapis Luxury color. Getting eyeshadow all up in my eyeball. I think I'm gonna redo sort of the outer edge, just redefine it with this Underworld shade just a little bit. And then I'm gonna go back in with Lapis Luxury one more time, using my finger, a bit of a rough shade on the finger, but it is really bright. Now, if you're a really sophisticated artist, you would be able to probably build this up and smooth it out a lot quicker than I'm doing it. I'm doing a lot of layers to kind of achieve what I want here. But that's sort of the fun of a palette, that's the fun of makeup, playing with different tones to really get what you want. Not a bad look in my opinion. This side is not as pretty as over here. I think I need like another in-between color to sort of fade into the silver. I think that like maybe a lighter teal would have probably made it that much better. But I don't hate it. I think it's something you have to find kind of the right balance of application. I'm not a makeup artist by any means, you can probably tell. I got my lashes on. It took a minute, but I definitely had more success. I think I applied these way better than the lashes I've applied in the past. I'm getting a little bit better as I keep using lashes again. These lashes are from Sephora. I got this in my latest VIB sale haul. And this is from the Sephora Collection. It's called Hipster number 20. They're a full volume lash. They're really wispy and long. I have like thicker lashes that are definitely more voluminous and more like of a lush and filled in lash. That's, you know, but I think I like this style because I can still see my eyeshadow and it's not like this thick wall of black that's kind of blocking it. Are they a little long? Yeah, like they reach my eyebrows when I do that. But because they're so wispy, the length is okay. They're not like gonna be super noticeable from far away until you get up close and you'll be like, oh wow, your lashes are really long. My application isn't 100% there. I'm a little bit off on this one. It could go a little bit inwards or I trimmed it too much. This one took me a couple tries. This one I got the first time. Could it be like closer to my lash line? Sure. But I'm getting there, and I think what really helped with this pair that I've noticed than the other pairs that I've tried is the lash line on this one was really thin. It wasn't like that thick band, and I think it made it more flexible and just easy for me to just kind of stick it on, whereas with the band I just have a thick band I have a more difficult time with adhering to my skin. I also had some old glue, maybe that was the problem. This glue really seems to work really well, especially with this sort of thin band. This is also new for me. This is the House of Lashes eye glue, and I mean, I'm not really seeing any white spots, and things seem to be sticking really well as long as I apply it properly. Yeah, I like these lashes. I think this kind of palette, if you're doing a dramatic look like this, which is hard not to with the colors in here, I think lashes really make sense with it. I did do a little bit of powder cleanup. If you're gonna use Lapis Luxury or Gold Standard, they have a bit of glittery fallout. Also the silver color got some fallout. So if you're the kind of person that really hates fallout and cleaning up after the fact, I would do my eye makeup first, put some powder underneath and sweep it away, because you're gonna get some glitter, especially with those shades. It's pretty hard to avoid, but I'm loving this kind of like summer, winter, fire and water kind of combination. It's really fun. I'm gonna finish off with the lips. We're doing Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Pillow Talk as a lip liner. And I don't want to do anything too crazy. If you wanted to like just do the warm look, you could do like a really like nude with some bronze like topper gloss would look really pretty. And then cooler, I mean, you can do anything. You could do like a kind of a light mauve color would work. I'm gonna do my newest Pat McGrath lipstick. This is Realness. This is the Luxtrance formula. It's not matte, it's right in between. It's a little bit creamy, but not like too creamy. And this is just a nude color that I've been liking. I think that's a nice nude. And I have one of Pat's little mini Lust glosses. This is Dare to Bear. I'm just gonna top it off. That is the Decadence look. I have to say I love the color options with this palette. Sorry, this is all like fingerprinted up. Has a lot of fingerprints on it now. I love that this is gold. I love that she did this for the special edition palette. This isn't new, but it was limited edition in the first place a couple years ago, I think, and then it came out last year with the Star Wars, and it went like, it sold out like really quickly. I think there's some drama about that, not really sure the details. And then she re-released it in early May, and now it sold out I think within a day. And then it's supposed to be restocked this summer, which is great for those of you that are interested. Yeah, I love that this version is gold. It makes it more special and different. I think I'm good on eyeshadow palettes for a while. I don't know. I think yeah. Anyways, let me tell you about my favorite shades in here. What I've loved swatching and versus like applying them on my eye. I'm just kind of looking in the mirror. I really like this plum shade applied. I think it was pretty swatched, but it's really pretty plum purple on the skin. So I'm excited to keep using this one. I really like the tone of this gold. I think this is gonna work in a lot of different looks. This copper, I had to build up a little bit, but I think it's a really interesting shade. It's really pretty. Sorry, this is the copper. This is the orange shade. I really like this orange shade a lot on my eye. I did have to kind of build it up, but it is really pretty. This copper shade is also a really nice sort of warm look. The gold to me is okay. It's a bit of a grittier texture. And the silver is a nice, pretty shade. I didn't have too many problems with it, but both of these create fallout. So does Lapis Luxury. I like Lapis Luxury. It's a nice, pretty blue shade. I do feel like it has a lot of fallout, and it's definitely one of those you need to apply with your finger to pop. This shade I had a little trouble with. I like it. It's just not easy to get that color payoff, and with this kind of a shade, like, I can't just apply this with my finger and be done. I need to do some blending with it. It just took a while to build up and was a little tricky. These two shades are really beautiful, sort of neutrals. They applied fairly easy, And yeah, I think that's about it. I think I went over everything. I say if you're like on the fence about this palette, these shades are definitely worth it. And this one, I know not everyone like loves silver and gold for like a lot of looks, but they certainly can be a part of a lot of looks. So these are kind of like a neutral almost. This is a fun shade. You just have to be aware of the side effects. But yeah, I think these are definitely worth it. This is a little tricky, but yeah. Anyways, I'm repeating myself. There's no special shades in here, which a lot of people complain about, but honestly, look at this look. Do I need a special shade? Is this not impactful enough for you? I don't mean to be snarky, but I think you're gonna get enough glitter and shine out of this. There's no mattes in here, but I was still able to create a really pretty impactful look. I still was able to get some definition, and I don't think it looks odd. If you're like very turned off by putting shimmers, metallics in your crease for definition, then this won't be for you. But if you don't mind that, Decadence is right up your alley. I think what I really appreciate about this palette is the cohesiveness of it. Like, okay, you have this packaging, the name of it, Decadence. You have the crown. Decadence goes with royalty, this opulence, this over-the-top luxury. I think the name and the packaging, it all works, it all goes together, it really makes sense to me. Then you have, of course, the opulent gold outer packaging, and then you just have a variety of really rich, metallic, shiny shades, the jewel tones. I mean, it all ties together really nicely, and it's what you expect in sort of a jewel-toned palette. So I think everything sort of falls in line with this palette. Some of her other palettes, the name is like whatever. I sort of get where she's going with most of them. The only thing the palette that really stands out to me that's being off is Divine Rose. To me, there's not enough rose colors in it to be called Divine Rose. But now she's coming out with Divine Rose 2, and I'm wondering if there's going to be actual rose shades and pink shades in there. So I'll be curious. I'll have to take a look at it. I have a lot of Pat McGrath palettes right now. Hopefully that one's not like limited edition, but I'll be okay like waiting for a while to get that one. I hope it's not like everyone's favorite palette ever, but that's okay. We can enjoy Pat in the future. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got a closer look into these shades. Is it worth it? Yes, I think, as other people have said, every Pat palette is worth it. If you enjoy color, if you enjoy different textures, if you especially enjoy the metallic textures in her palettes, then this palette is for you. If you like going out, or if you like wearing a colorful look to the office, you're gonna put Pat's colors into your everyday life. And even if that isn't your thing, she has plenty of really well formulated, easy to apply, sort of neutral shades, but in different textures and shines and mattes, and she has everything. You just may not get everything you want in one palette. That's why, you know, it makes sense to have a few of her palettes, to be honest. I can definitely see pairing this with a couple of the palettes I already have, especially Bronze Seduction. I can see this going really well with that one, especially on this side. It's really cohesive with that one. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Let me know if you have any questions. Click like, comment below, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.